Now, I want to talk about Dubai Islands. Island A, you have Island B, you have Island C, you have Island D, and then Island E. And now you have another bridge which is connecting directly Dubai to the island. Island A is going to be the most diverse island amongst all of them put together. So whether you ask ChatGPT or Claude or any sort of AI platform that what are the best type of properties to invest in Dubai, the top three will always be either waterfront or beachfront. There has to be a waterfront property. It's always that. Now, the same way when it comes to the coastline of Dubai, I've spoken to multiple investors who are thinking of starting their portfolio, and most of the people who get into the market always have this vision and this goal that they want something, either a beachfront is priority or it's waterfront, right? Now, there are multiple communities where they have these lagoons and lagoon front. I mean, they're all trying to create the waterfront effect, right? Whether you look at it from one angle or the other, everyone wants to have a waterfront property. Now, most of the waterfront properties, when people look at the prices, especially the newer investors, I'm talking about sort of the tier two and the tier three investors who are looking at a budget of between 2 to 5 million, don't really get the opportunity to get into the beachfront villa communities or the townhouse communities, where they actually have the physical sea or the beach in front of them. I'm not talking about lagoons over here. Today, we are going to talk about sea view, beachfront, those type of properties, right? Now, when we look at Palm Jumeirah, the prices are approximately around 4,800 to about 5,000 dirhams per square feet with certain type of units. Yes, you do have some cheaper options there as well, around 4,500 dirhams per square foot, but those units are huge. Those villas are big, right? We start looking at apartments as well. They're around that similar price point. So as an investor who still wants to have that one trophy, the beachfront trophy on their portfolio, where should they look at? Yes, there still are opportunities, 2 million to 3 million dirham mark, to have a good opportunity on a beachfront or a beachfront living type of a property. What we're going to talk about today is one of my favorite areas. You guys have heard me talk about Maidan. You guys have heard me talk about Jaddaf. You've heard me talk about multiple townhouse communities. I only talk about units that I truly believe in myself, and those are the kind of units that I would obviously offer to our clients because the liquidity factor. When you want to liquidate, it shouldn't be a delay where you're waiting for, potentially 6 months to a year to sell off that property. An ideal timeline, 90 to 120 days is usually the perfect timeline. And the second option is rentability, especially finding tenants, right? You want to make sure that you are on the upper hand, where you have the leverage as the owner to negotiate your rent. How does that happen? It's when you get a property which is going to be in demand for the rest of your life, unless something drastically changes in terms of, another island coming up in front of you or something like that. Now, I want to talk about Dubai Islands. Many people think that when they missed out on the opportunity like the Nakheel Bay Villas or some of the other properties. Like we have multiple developments happening on Dubai Islands where prices are surging almost, they're actually crossing 2,500 dirhams per square feet. Some of them are actually starting at 3,500 dirhams per square feet. Now, let's look at Dubai Islands. You have Island A, you have Island B, you have Island C, you have Island D, and then Island E. If we look at the history of Dubai Islands, once it was rebranded by Nakheel in 2022, more developers came in, started to launch products, and the highest number, so far, one of the first highest numbers that Dubai Island saw was 9.8 billion in sales, and that was in 2024. I think the transactions had crossed around 2,600 transactions just in 2024, and the amount was just around the 10 billion mark. That's for 1 year. Let's look at the next year. Let's look at half of next year, which is 2025. H1 transactions were just around 2,000 transactions. This is for 6 months. 2,000, say 1,980 or something transactions. They had already crossed 6.1 billion dirhams just in H1. So let's look at the average price per square feet on the islands. Now, this is not specifically for apartments or villas or townhouses. I'm just talking about general statistics. This is the average price, taking all sorts of properties on the islands. Now, initially, when it was rebranded in 2022, and then they started selling it back onto the market after 2022. So early 2022, the prices were around 800 dirhams per square feet. In 23, it went up to 1,400 dirhams per square feet. In 24, we had crossed 2,100. In 25, we crossed around 2,280, if I'm not wrong. And then in 26, we are at almost 2,400 right now. But with the new launches, I'm seeing a steady increase because most of the good projects, I'm talking about Island A over here, where you have multiple developers coming together, and not coming together, they're actually launching their own projects. Island A is going to be the most diverse island amongst all of them put together. Why? Because you have multiple developers have their opportunity to, come and showcase and launch the projects over there. You also have multiple gardens. You have, there's going to be a Dubai Islands mall on this island, which is set to be one of the biggest malls in the entire GCC, is going to be on this island. Now, this island also showcases 2 different marinas on this. You're going to have, there already is an existing marina on this side, which is very close to the Yachts and Marina from Emaar. And then you have this entire, creek, which is actually going to show off. It's like a Dubai Marina style promenade, which is going to have your cafes, your lounges, multiple shopping areas, good area to just hang out. Now, this island, apart from the mall, apart from the marina, apart from all of that, is also getting a brand new bridge directly from Dubai onto the island. So this island is already boasting 2 bridges. One is already there. It's an 8-lane bridge, which is connecting Island A to the mainland. And now you have another bridge, which is connecting directly Dubai to the island. So this will come under the infrastructure investments for the island, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Now, this here, the forecast is basically showing that by 2027, we are going to be very close to 3,000 dirhams per square feet. This is the island average I'm talking about. Let me reiterate this. There are projects on the island today that have launched at 3,400 dirhams per square foot as well. Most of the cheaper or economical price per square feet that we're looking at on the island is around 2,300 dirhams per square foot at the moment. By 2028, this has basically forecasted to reach 3,900 dirhams, and this, I am being very modest. I'm trying to be conservative when I give you these numbers. Now, let me tell you how these numbers are going to affect, how these numbers are going to be affected by looking at the various infrastructure investments. If you've looked at my videos before, be it about Jeddah, be it about Maidan, I follow the money. And not the money by investors. I follow the money by the government. Where the government is investing, infrastructure, you follow those projects, that's where you know you need to invest. For example, many mainland projects, we look at where the metro networks are coming. We look at where the new metro networks are being expanded to. Those are an example, whether new government buildings are coming, what new kind of roads are coming up, what sort of new malls are coming, what sort of new infrastructure projects are coming up, right? So if you want a report explaining all these numbers, just before I go on to the infrastructure one, if you want a number for all of these, just type report into the comments below and we'll get in touch with you and we'll send you this report. Just write islands report and we'll send that over to you. Now, let's talk about the infrastructure projects that is going to sincerely boost the value of the island. And we're going to see how these projects are going to boost the value of the island and properties on it. Now, the first one is the 8-lane new bridge, which is already in effect right here, which is connecting Deira to the waterfront properties. Now, just for those people who don't know the thorough history of Dubai's business or the economy side of things, this is the islands, yes, but you have the main canal right here, the creek, which is called Dubai Creek. Now, Dubai Creek was the first ever creek that actually promoted business in Dubai. You would have the pearl divers that would bring in, and the fishermen and everything would bring in their haul from the sea, and here is where the actual distribution would happen. So you have Deira on this side and you have Dubai on this side, two of the major markets that contribute to almost 30% of Dubai's GDP. We're talking about billions and billions of dirhams being moved here on a weekly basis. We're talking about Deira market, which is dominated. You have your dry fruits, you have your hardware equipment, you have construction material, you know, everything that is pumped through Deira. And then you have Dubai, where you have spices, you have food, you have textiles, you have clothing, all those sort of business, and gold on both sides actually. That's where most of the business happens. So you have a lot of wealth lying in this area. And once Dubai Islands was relaunched, especially in 2024, where the transactions had crossed almost 9.8 billion dirhams, most of the investment came locally. Now, this is not where people are just talking about the hype. This is where people are putting their money where their mouth is. Obviously, a person who's worked here for the last 30, 40 years, or even 20 years, wouldn't want to go and live on Palm Jumeirah. They wouldn't want to go and live on a villa community halfway across town. They want to live close by. That's where most of the villas and the townhouses that came up over here were sold out in minutes. So, this is a little bit that I spoke about in terms of business. Now, the first infrastructure project was the extended 8-lane bridge, which is already in effect. Another bridge connecting Dubai directly to the island as well. So what does that do? I mean, yes, I'm talking about these bridges, I'm talking about new infrastructure in terms of road and transport, but what does it do for us or you as investors who are buying on the island? As we all know, that Sheikh Zayed Road is one of the spines of Dubai. Now, when I say spine, most of the transportation or most of people actually travel along these lanes, that road. That is one of the major roads of Dubai, where we see the beautiful skyline, Sheikh Zayed Road skyline. We pass by the Burj Khalifa and we see the downtown skyline. It is on that road. Now, the major aspect is from getting from this road to the island. With the new upgrades, the infrastructure upgrades, all the way from the corridor going from Sheikh Zayed Road over here, which is also known as the Mankhul area. The new bridges and the new infrastructure roads have made it possible for us to reach from Sheikh Zayed Road to the island in 10 minutes. With the new bridge, you would be able to reach from Sheikh Zayed Road to the island in less than 10 minutes. What does that do for your property? Automatically, it is on the main corridor of Dubai's spine, one of the major roads, which is Sheikh Zayed Road. That increased, once that was announced, the properties, the value on paper had already increased by 18% overnight. That covers two of the major road and transport authority projects. The second one, which I've already mentioned earlier, is the Deira night market and the Promenade with the creek front, with the Marina and things like that. That is also going to significantly boost the demand in said area. We have 80 plus hotels and resorts coming up on all the islands put together. You're talking about multiple types of properties. We're talking about beachfront resorts. We're talking about inland resorts and beach properties. We're talking about residential beach properties. We're also talking about hotel apartments, staycation apartment type buildings as well. So that is, of course, going to pull up more of the tourism side of things as well. Now, speaking about tourism, the third point I wanted to highlight was the marina and the cruise depot. So at the moment, most of the cruise ships come on this area, which is on the Port Rashid side. So Dubai Islands is also getting a depot mainly for cruises, yacht marinas. Most of the investors that have bought those villas and the townhouses over here will have an opportunity to actually bring their yachts or bring their ships and park it on the island as well. Now, speaking about the Road and Transport Authority, speaking about the cruise and yacht depots, we also have multiple waterway links where they have dedicated RTA bus lanes, which will make it easier for us to use public transport and travel on and off the island. However, we are also going to have multiple ferryways or water link buses as well, which we'll be able to use for transportation. So you don't need to just have a car to get on and off the island. Public transport will make it much easier for you as well. I haven't even spoken about the Reef regeneration project, which is off Dubai Islands. It's basically a project which is going to help regenerate the reef life and the marine life in and around the Dubai Islands. This is a topic for another video. It's going to take a lot more time if I actually jump into it right now. And of course, if we look at Dubai Islands is a major shareholder in the Dubai 2040 plan. Again, I will talk about this on a different video where I am talking about the multiple districts of the 2040 Dubai plan. Getting down to the basics, we've looked at the history of Dubai Islands, what happened since its rebrand, where the prices are going, whether be it uncertainty or not, the prices are holding on. There is still demand. Multiple units are being sold on a daily basis. I mean, we've traded multiple units over the last 2 weeks. Now, where I'm going with this, we've managed to negotiate a few deals with certain developers where we've negotiated the lowest price per square foot on the island. Yes, there is availability units with us for a price below 2,000 dirhams per square feet. The average of the island right now is 2,300 to 2,400, and we have units below 2,000 dirhams per square feet. You're looking at investment sizes between 2 million to 3.5 million dirhams, which will give you an upside of 40% or over, approximately, looking at where the market is going over the next 5 to 6 years. Now, if you're looking at comparing this, the closest comparison would be Maritime City, right? But then again, Maritime City isn't as big. So the most realistic comparison would be Palm Jumeirah. Because Palm Jumeirah, in terms of the size, in terms of the variations of properties available, be it apartments, be it various sizes of apartments, townhouses, villas, having its own marinas, having its own yacht clubs, having its own beachfront coastline, that is the only project that I see the comparison can be done with. And at the moment, Palm Jumeirah is being traded 4,500 to 5,000 dirhams per square feet mark. And again, I'm talking about the median. You know, you and I both know that there are properties way over that price point. So if you want to get that beachfront living property on your portfolio, ride the wave before it actually comes. We're before the appreciation curve right now. Once it starts actually occupying, because we know a lot of the plots have already been sold out. Many of the developers have actually bought these plots and they're sitting on them waiting for the price hikes. A few of the properties that have been launched in past years have already been sold out. There are very few of them left in this price bracket. And we, at the moment, have the lowest price point price per square feet available. So if you want to actually discuss what your opportunities can be, I'm not sure that I can help you yet, but we need to get on a call, discuss that. If you want to get on a call, click on the Calendly link below. book in your call and we can discuss this further.